Thank you, Ben. A very colorful, enthusiastic sellout crowd here at Etobicoke Centennial Stadium. Here is the starting lineup for the Mexican national team, Lydia.
Okay, players to look for. Number 7, Hill. Number 9, Gerardo. And number 14, Leyva.
And number 10, Dominguez, the leading scorer on Mexico. And here's Canada's starting lineup.
Okay, and the captain of the Canadian national team is Silvana Bertini. Look for her to score a few goals. And Charmaine Hooper.
Bertini and Hooper, the top scoring Canadians in this tournament. Referee Ave Maria Alpizar from Costa Rica, Jacqueline Saez of Panama, Bonnie Bishop of Trinidad and Tobago are the referee assistants. The fourth official is Cassie Moore from Trinidad and Tobago. We're all set to go for this gold medal championship match in the women's Concacaf qualifying tournament between Canada and Mexico. There's your kickoff. Canada playing in red from left to right on your screen. Mexico in the green jerseys, white shorts, playing from right to left on your screen. Opening moments of play, Suzanne Muir pushing it forward, and the Mexican player, Lori Hill, intercepts, passes it back to Regina Olsiguera. Now ahead on the left wing. Good tackle in there from Shannon Rose now. Charmaine Hooper loses the ball. Here's Monica Gerardo, number 9. Long ball looking for Dominguez of Mexico, lays it off to Gerardo. Number 9, Monica Gerardo, plays with the University of Notre Dame in the United States. Now turning with the ball is Isabel Morneau. Long lead pass for Silvana Bertini. Nice layoff to Shannon Rosenau. Rosenau back to Bertini. Just a little too long, and Mexico's number 5, Perez, clears it away. Throw in Canada. Just over a minute into the match. Suzanne Muir on the near sideline. It's a short throw, anticipated there by Mexico's number 3, Denise Ireta, and she gives up the corner kick. It's the first of the game for Canada, and Canada already on the offensive a couple of minutes into the game, Lydia.
Okay, and what Canada look to is probably put it far. It's a deep post. We've got Silvana Bertini coming in there.
There's the cross, headed away by Perez. Collected by Canada. Good work there by number 9, Marie-Claude Dion. Tackle there from Perez. Number 14 actually, Leyva helping out, but here's Shannon Rosenau cutting in. Good tackle there from Regina Olsiguera, and Mexico clear of the danger. Tanya Frank there coming in looking for the ball. Now Mexico, Lori Hill feeds it up to number 8. That's Andrea Rodabosch. She's the captain of Mexico. Dominguez looking clear across the other end, but coming back for Canada was Amy Walsh. Long pass from Morneau. Hooper tried the flick on for Bertini, but Denise Ireta was there first, and Mexico has given up another throw in, and Canada continuing to apply the pressure. Suzanne Muir from the far sideline. Hooper. Charmaine Hooper is the sister of Lyndon Hooper, a former member of Canada's men's national team. Charmaine currently the leading Canadian scorer, 28 goals, one ahead of Silvana Bertini, who's had a record-setting tournament. She scored 8 in the first match against Guatemala this tournament. Perez intercepted by Bertini. Nice back heel pass there for Suzanne Muir. Intercepted by Lori Hill. And that's Leyva, number 14 from Mexico, looking for some support. Tries to get it there from Rodabosch. Ball comes right back to Lori Hill. Lays it off for Leyva. Return pass to Hill. Too long. And it's out of play. And a throw in for Suzanne Muir on the near sideline. Here's a look at Canada's head coach, Neil Turnbull. Been with the program for several years now, as Mexico coming forward, and Canada has given up the first corner kick of the game. Actually, the second. They had earned one earlier in this match. Mexico corner kick. Now, Lydia, Mexico missing one of their key players, striker Iris Mora, who was sent off with a red card last game, she is suspended for today's game. How will that affect the Mexican offense?
Well, she was one of the key front runners for the Mexican side, and it's obviously going to affect their scoring power.
Nicole Wright punching it out for Canada. It's back beyond the 18-yard box. Cleared there by Morneau. This is Shannon Rose now holding it. Couldn't get some support. Leyva putting it through, but no Mexican player was running onto the ball. And Nicole Wright coming out to gather the ball. Nicole Wright having an outstanding tournament. 4 consecutive shutouts. It could be a 5th one today if she keeps the slate clean. Here's Silvana Bertini sending it across for Charmaine Hooper, cleared by Regina Olseguera. Suzanne Muir. Interesting story. She's a police constable with the Vancouver Police Department. Suzanne Muir. And Silvana Bertini, also a professional. She works for the BC Tel out west. A number of these girls who have occupations and are continuing to follow a soccer career with the national women's program. Suzanne Muir with the cross. Good save there from Linnea Quiñones, number 12, the Mexican goalkeeper. Now it's Amy Walsh, one of 2 sisters on the Canadian national team. Walsh watching number 13, Carmen Olguin, who's come into this game as a supporting striker in place of Iris Mora. Throw in Canada. We mentioned off the top, it's a very colorful, enthusiastic, and sellout crowd. We'll get the official attendance figure a little bit later on, but I wouldn't hesitate to guess that it's well over 3,000 today for this doubleheader championship final day at the Women's Concacaf Tournament. Crowds have been getting bigger and bigger as the games have been progressing of this week-long event. Number 2, Liz Smith for Canada. Throw-in goes the other way, says referee Alpizar of Costa Rica. And it's a Mexico throw. 6.5 minutes gone in the first half. Canada and Mexico, no score. Ireta. Liz Smith. Now ball across the middle. Nicely intercepted there by Canada. That's Tanya Franks. Moving forward now is Muir. Looking for Franks, but it's cleared. Muir intercepts again. Suzanne Muir looking to the middle of the park now. Across, switches it to the left wing. Suzanne Muir, actually that's number 2, Liz Smith with a cross. Shannon Rosenau in the middle, but it was headed away. Carmen Olguin trying to run onto the ball, couldn't get to it in time, and it's a throw-in again, favor of Canada. Let's go downstairs to Ben Knight.
Okay, thanks, Alf. They're just incredible. You were talking about the crowd. It's incredible down here right now. The place is absolutely packed. We've got people on the hillsides. The stands are elbow to elbow. We've got good representation here, both sides. Lots of Mexican shirts, lots of Canadian flags, and the crowd noise down here when the game gets close to a goal is absolutely sensational. I've been doing games here for 10 years. I've never heard anything like it, Alf and Lydia.
Thanks, Ben. It is a tremendous outpouring of emotion as fans have come in for this women's CONCACAF qualifying regional tournament. Of course, the winner of this game advances automatically to US 99, the Women's World Cup in the United States next year. The runners-up will go through a playoff phase with Argentina, the South American runners-up, to determine the second place team from CONCACAF, in addition to hosts United States. And there's a look at that big crowd today. Here's Suzanne Muir. Cross into the middle. Silvana Bertini, good control. Trying to turn past her marker. Shannon Rosenau picks up the loose ball, cuts in. Rosenau looking to cross. She does. Blocked by a Mexican defender. Lydia, Canada's showing a lot of patience and trying to move in and looking for the opportunity.
They're going to have to keep the pressure on. Mexico's a strong squad. If you're watching, they're going to pack the inside. They're going to have to take it out wide and then cross it back in.
Just getting back to the qualification phase for the 1999 FIFA Women's World Cup. Of course, the USA as hosts have automatically qualified. Brazil has qualified from the South American region. 3 nations from Europe have already qualified: Norway, Sweden, and Italy. And Sweden is a story which we'll update with Lydia in just a moment. From Asia, Japan, North Korea, and China have qualified. The African nations have yet to qualify, and the Oceania nations. And of course, in Concacaf, we are going to determine at least 1 and possibly 2 in a couple of months' time. 2 more nations to qualify for the 1999 World Cup. That's Marie-Claude Dion for Shannon Rose now. Quick flick over to Suzanne Muir, who took a bit of a knee in the abdomen and is down on one knee. Throw in favor of Canada, and Suzanne Muir still down on one knee. There you see her on your screen. The referee is ignoring her at the moment, and Suzanne, probably winded, now just gets back up on her feet. Laurie Hill, number 7, stolen by Charmaine Hooper. She's got Bertini loose. Hooper trying to get past one last defender. She can't. Regina Olseguera, the sweeper for Mexico, clearing it out for a corner.
And Charmaine Hooper is now in her 50th cap. And this is a record for her, and probably halfway to 100 at the rate she's going.
Tremendous player with tremendous potential, and certainly a great many years of experience. She's played professionally in Europe and in Japan, and recently played in the U.S. Women's League.
Yes, and she's a big-time player. You come out to the big games, and she's going to shine.
Corner kick is cleared out, but following under it is Marie-Claude Dion. Dion tries the shot from well out. Ooh, what an impact between the goalkeeper and Charmaine Hooper. A free kick in favor of Mexico. Bit of an ambitious attempt there from Marie-Claude Dion. Didn't quite get enough behind it to make it a testing shot for Quiñones.
No, but it's going to keep the Mexicans aware that they're going to shoot from anywhere today.
Throw in Canada. Hooper quickly gets it back to Suzanne Muir. Here's the cross. Liz Smith came in, but has to backtrack now, try to save it before it goes out for a throw-in. She does. Smith try to get past her marker. Evelyn Lopez gets the cross in. Bertini just couldn't get to the ball, and Quiñones scoops it up for Mexico. Her punt downfield is blocked there by Amy Walsh. Andrea Rodabau is turning with the ball. She loses it. That's Silvana Bertini cutting past her marker. Bertini still with the ball, sets it in front. Cleared by Olseguera, one of the more effective Mexican defenders, playing the sweeper position. Hooper steals the ball once again. Charmaine Hooper looking in the middle. Had the ball go off. Bertini, she wasn't expecting it. Amy Walsh wins it. Looking for some support. She'll get it by sending it back to Sarah Jolly. Long pass for Rosenau. Hooper, could she get into the clear? And the ball's in the net, but the lineswoman has raised her flag, and it is an offside call against Canada.
It's extremely close call, and Charmaine was just a half step too quick.
So another look at the sizable crowd on hand here today at the Etobicoke Centennial Stadium as Mexico coming forward now. Andrea Rodabau, number 8, she's the team captain, American woman who lives in Mexico. And the interesting thing about this Mexican representative is that 7 of their women are U.S. college athletes who play in the American college system and have added a great deal of depth and experience to this side.
Oh, what a difference from 4 years ago when Canada played Mexico. Canada defeated them 6-0 with Silvana Bertini scoring 5 goals in that game. This game's going to be much closer.
Free kick in favor of Mexico. Referee Alpizar calling Amy Walsh for a foul. And the referee will position the Canadian wall a few meters back. Free kick now. Swung in, headed away by Sarah Jolly. Rosenau clears it further. Coming under it is number 5, Patricia Perez, challenged by Muir. Olseguera. Ball's out of play. Let's go back down to Ben Knight on the sidelines. Ben?
Yeah, thanks, Alf. Well, pretty strong Canadian domination of field so far in the game. Canada with by far the lion's share of chances and possessions. Down here on the sidelines, an interesting contrast shaping up on the Mexican bench. Coach Guillermo Montred and his staff. Lots of yelling at the players, lots of passion really involved in this. The Canadian bench very, very cool at the moment, not worried about anything. I think they're pretty content with the way things are going so far. Back to you.
Thanks, Ben. I think that's typical, Lydia, of the Canadian bench in terms of the opposition. They've been fairly comfortable, fairly confident about their team throughout this tournament, and no reason to be any more agitated or nervous about this match. They're confident.
Just another game for them right now. They're quietly confident, and hopefully they'll stay that way for the next 90 minutes.
15 minutes have gone by in this first half of this women's Concacaf Championship final match. Charmaine Hooper sending it out wide to Liz Smith. Can she reach it in time? She does. And a great diving save from Linia Quiñones on that cross from Liz Smith, showing a great deal of athleticism, the Mexican goalkeeper.
Amazing goalkeeper. Those crosses now have got to come out a bit farther to give the forwards a chance to get their head on it.
Here's a long ball for Dominguez. She is the Mexicans' leading goal scorer with 8 goals, tied with Shannon Rosenau of Canada, but Silvana Bertini leads the tournament with 14 goals. She had 8 in one game against Puerto Rico, a FIFA record that stands. Bertini, number 17, with the ball now. Shannon Rosenau cutting through 2 defenders, has one more to beat, tries the shot, blocked by Oseguera. Corner kick once again in favor of Canada.
And Canada's forwards are not afraid to take a run at the defense there, and they're going to run at them for the rest of the game.
One of the things I've seen of Mexico in this tournament, Lydia, is they have a very settled defense. Regino Oseguera, their sweeper, really controls the back line, organizes them, coordinates all their movement, and they're going to be a difficult team to break down. Yeah,
they're going to have to work on pulling them apart and pulling them wide, and that way hopefully they can break down through the center, and you've got the speed of Silvana Bertini to get behind them, or Charmaine Hooper, as well as Shannon Rosenau.
Silvana Bertini coming into this tournament with a bit of a very unusual and mysterious ailment. We'll talk about it in just a little bit. As the ball comes back to Suzanne Muir. Cross into the middle. Andrea Rodabau can't control it. Liz Smith for Canada now. Smith trying to turn past her defender. She can't, but wins a corner kick in favor of Canada once again, this time from the far side. We were saying Silvana Bertini suffering from a bit of a viral infection for a number of weeks now and was not physically completely fit, but certainly dispelled any problems that could have been bothering her from the first game on. She scored 8 goals that first match, followed up with 3 more in the next game, and then 3 more in the following game. She was shut out in the semifinal, but certainly had her chances.
Oh, her presence was definitely there in the semifinals. She's a fighter. She's going to stay in it for the 90 minutes, and look for her to score a couple goals today.
Oseguera, great tackle by Charmaine Hooper to win the ball. Scoops it out for Suzanne Muir. The ball goes out of play, and Mexico wins the throw-in. Number 14 is Fatima Leiva with the throw-in. Headed on there by number 8 for Canada, Dion. Sarah Jolly heading it away, and she forms 1/3 of that terrific Canadian back line as the ball is sent forward for Rosenau, but cleared by Quiñones, the Mexican goalkeeper. Sarah Jolly, the center back or sweeper on this Canadian defense, which includes Marie-Claude Dion and Isabelle Morneau, and they have been impenetrable all tournament long. Free kick in favor of Mexico for that foul by Shannon Rosenau. And there's a look at some of the people who have taken up seats across the way in the hillside here at Centennial Park. There is a main grandstand, and there is a overflow seating area on the grass, on the lawn, across the way, and it is just about full. And there's some people drifting into the end zones as well. And although it isn't official, there's a possibility that this match will set a record for the most, or the largest attended for a women's match in Canada. Charmaine Hooper under the ball. Good control. Good breakout now. Pass to Shannon Rosenau, looking for the return pass. Charmaine Hooper gets it. Regina Oseguera comes across to Mark. Hooper cutting past Oseguera, looking for support, gets it back. Lori Hill intercepts, and she almost put it out for a corner kick, but Oseguera saved it. Hill now. Long ball over for Fatima Leyva, number 14 here on the near sidelines. Pass over to Monica Gerardo. Being watched there by Suzanne Muir. Gerardo cutting into the middle. Muir still trying to stay with her. Now Jolly moves up and pushes it away. There's a long lead pass downfield that will just go beyond the goal line for a goal kick in favor of Canada. Once again, Ben Knight down on the sidelines. Go ahead, Ben.
Okay, Al, great effort just there by Charmaine Hooper, and we should tell the fans if they don't know, Charmaine Hooper has been playing pro soccer in Japan. She's back in North America now playing in the W League down in the United States. Now, exciting news about the W League is that it's coming to Toronto next year. There's going to be a team called the Toronto Inferno, and we will have Tony Marmo from that team here at halftime to tell us all about it. So, women's sports expanding around the world, soccer no exception.
Thank you very much, Ben and Lydia. Women's professional soccer could be a reality here in North America.
And I think the crowd here just proves it. I mean, they're here to watch a great game, and the crowds have come out in droves every single game, and this is amazing to see, especially here in Canada. The support is great.
There's a tremendous amount of support for women's soccer, as we know, in the United States. The Olympic Games final drew a record attendance in Atlanta, and certainly there's a terrific crowd on hand here to watch this match between Canada and Mexico in this Concacaf Regional Championship, and we will learn a little bit more about the Toronto Inferno, who are joining the W League next year, 1999, at halftime. Mexico now with the goal kick and a clearance downfield. Good anticipation there from Marie-Claude Dion to intercept and send it right back. Shannon Rosenau. Hill now for Mexico. Leyva. Poor clearance, and it goes out of bounds here by the near sidelines, and Canada will put it back in. Lydia, you played in the 1995 World Cup in Sweden. How has Canada progressed since then, and what strengths have you seen in this Canadian team that can hopefully take us into World Cup '99?
Well, there's a great mix of veterans and younger players now, and if you look all over the team speed has increased immensely, and the intensity right now. These girls are focused and ready to go towards the World Cup and hopefully to the next step of the Olympics.
Hooper to Bertini. Hooper winning the ball once again. Sending it wide now to Liz Smith. Here's a long cross. Oh, off the crossbar. Rosenau following up. And it's cleared, and do we have a corner kick? Yes, we do, in favor of Canada. Liz Smith with another one of her long swinging crosses. This time it went off the crossbar. And one of Canada's best opportunities to date.
Crossbars hopefully an inch a little bit lower, and they're in.
Canada's fifth corner, Suzanne Muir to take it. From the near side, into the middle. Jolly coming up under it. Actually, that was Tanya Franks, but it was collected by goalkeeper Quinones and punted downfield. Coming under it is Carmen Olguin. Playing it wide. Cleared by Dion right off of Olguin, and Canada will benefit with the throw-in from the far side. This is the third official Concacaf qualifying tournament for the Women's World Cup. The first Women's World Cup was played in China in 1991. We spoke about the second World Cup in Sweden in 1995, and the USA will host it next year, 1999, in some of the same venues that that were used for the Men's World Cup back at USA 94.
And they're probably expecting great crowds there as well. I mean, right now for the World Cup, it's been moved up to 16 teams for this, and this gives another shot or a half spot in which both of these teams can make it to the World Cup now.
That's right, CONCACAF with 2.5 berths, 2 officially, with the United States holding 1. 1 to be determined here tonight, and then perhaps another one, as the runner-up of this match will play the South American runner-up in a playoff. Franks stealing the ball. Here's a cross in the middle. Turning is Rosenau off the crossbar once again, and cleared by Mexico. Great shot from Shannon Rosenau. Unlucky for her, it went off the bar once again. Following up is Amy Walsh, number 13. She's watched by her opposite number, Carmen Olguin. And Walsh wins the free kick just outside the box. And the intensity stepping up for Canada now.
Oh, this is great. They've got a great spot to put a shot on net, and hopefully this one not off the crossbar. What a turn that was by her.
Charmaine Hooper with Liz Smith standing over the ball, along with Amy Walsh, the three of them looking to set up a free kick. There's Charmaine's cross. Silvana Bertini with the header just over top of the bar.
Well,
another
executed.
Good opportunity.
Oh, great set play, just a little bit over the bar. And Silvana just had to head that down at the ground, and that was a goal.
Silvana Bertini, 29-year-old veteran striker for Canada, came into this tournament with 13 goals. She's added 14. She's more than doubled her career scoring total. She has 27, but that's one shy of Charmaine Hooper's leading 28.
Well, maybe she should always come in with a viral infection or something. I mean, she does better that way. Right now, she's just scoring every game.
Liz Smith pushes it back to Jolly under a little bit of pressure. She had to rush her pass. It was a long one. Olseguera. Morneau with the header. But it's picked up by number 2, Evelyn Lopez for Mexico. No Mexican player coming under it, and Canada earns another throw-in from the far side. Just over 19 minutes to play in the first half. Canada no score, Mexico no score in the gold medal match of the women's Concacaf regional qualifying tournament for the Women's World Cup on Rogers Community TV. And we also want to mention this tournament is sponsored by Western Union. Throw in Mexico from the far side. Evelyn Lopez to take it. Headed away by Liz Smith. She's been so dominant on the left side of midfield. Lydia, terrific player.
Oh, and her cross has been excellent today. She just got to keep going down that left flank and keep putting them into her two front runners.
And she's complemented very well on the other side by Suzanne Muir, who does very much the same type of work and getting a lot of crosses into the middle for Hooper and Bertini and Rosenau to get on the end of.
And the two on the outside log a lot of miles in a game. They're going to be up and down those flanks all day. And also the two marking backs.
There's a look at Guillermo Montero, the head coach of the Mexican national team. Henry Sosa alongside him, his assistant. And they've done a great deal of work over the last number of months with the Mexican national team, recruiting a number of American girls with Mexican heritage to come into this team and make it a much more competitive squad than it was, as you mentioned, about 3 years ago.
Oh, and I think that's just the new wave. I mean, probably the other countries will be doing the same thing. They get more experience in the United States. They get a higher level of competition, and that's what's going to raise the level at Concacaf every single time.
Canadian goalkeeper Nicole Wright with the kick. Across midfield, Hill, Leyva. Now it's Monica Gerardo, one of the 7 U.S. university athletes. Hooper. Gerardo with the tackle on Hooper. Throw in Canada. Suzanne Muir. Into the middle for Bertini, trying to hold off her marker. Bertini looking for a foul, and she won't get it from referee Alpizar of Costa Rica. Throw in Canada, Dion. Here's a look at Bertini. Muir. Another long, high cross. Under it is Liz Smith, and she just couldn't get herself in position to get a good shot off. That's a goal kick in favor of Mexico with just over 16 minutes to play in the first half. Still no score.
And here you're also looking at Liz Smith again, and she's just going to be tracking back on the wing. Winning the ball in the air is Isabelle Mornier. Her, as well as MC Dion, are the two marking backs, and they've been doing a great job so far.
Throw in Mexico. On the far side, once again, it's Evelyn Lopez looking for Olguin, number 13 from Mexico. She's come into the match, starting her first game in place of Iris Mora, who is suspended. She received a red card in the semifinal match for Mexico against Guatemala, but didn't harm the Mexicans any because they went on to win convincingly 8-0. Throw in for Canada, that's Morneau. Bertini trying to settle it. Hooper gave the ball away. Olguin looking for Gerardo. She was too late. Muir now collecting the ball. Gerardo giving chase. Muir with a pass ahead for Hooper. Was just a little too long for her. And the ball went all the way to the Mexican goalkeeper, Quiñones. A long punt downfield is across midfield, and Muir will have to go to the sidelines, and she gives away a throw-in as Leyva comes across for Mexico. She'll leave it now for number 5, Patricia Perez. Headed away by Morneau, aggressively coming in to challenge and anticipating that throw-in.
Yeah, excellent stepping in front of her before the other player gets to it.
Perez will try it again. This time Dominguez gets a hold of the ball but loses it now. Suzanne Muir trying to work her way past 2 defenders. She can't. Hill to Lopez. Through ball to Olguin. Olguin turns it back. Looking for Dominguez, running under it. Morneau gets there first. Gives away the throw-in to Mexico. Leyva, number 14. Again, good anticipation there by the Canadian defender Dion, who sends it up to Hooper. Hooper, though, held it on a little bit too long, and it was intercepted, but Morneau once again comes across to clear the danger. Mexico trying to sustain an offensive push now along the left side as they've won a couple of throw-ins in a row. Now Leyva deep in the Canadian zone. The throw-in chested across. Dominguez mishit. And it's cleared once again for another Mexican throw-in. And we've got another report from field level and Ben Knight. Go ahead, Ben.
Hi, Alf. I want to talk about the crowd again here a little bit. We've got a game that's been breaking out here. The Mexican fans yell Mexico, and the Canadian fans come right back with Canada, and it's been going back and forth. This is not your typical Toronto soccer crowd. They're really, really loud. They're having a great time. Just goes to show that if you put on a terrific product at a good price, this team gets behind it. There's been a reputation in Toronto lately that the fans don't come out to cheer Canada. I hope some of the people who think that are here are watching that game, because it sure ain't the case tonight.
Certainly is, Ben, and that's true because we see a lot of Canadian flags out there and a lot of proud Canadians waving them. As Mexico trying to come forward again, but it's intercepted by Amy Walsh. Long lead pass for Bertini. Olseguera under it once again. But Liz Smith follows up for Canada. Smith once again along the left wing. Cross into the middle. Cleared by Perez. It goes right back to Smith. Chest trap, good control. Gets it back. Morneau moves away from her marker and sends it long for Silvana Bertini once again. A little bit of a hesitation there, and the Mexican forward came across, or the Mexican defender came across to put it out for a throw-in, but Canada now coming forward once again. With just over 12 minutes to play in the first half, still a scoreless tie in this gold medal match. Amy Walsh. Muir trying to flick it on for Hooper. Hooper trying to get past a couple of defenders, and she couldn't as Olseguera comes well out to clear. Once again, the effectiveness of Regina Olseguera. She is another one of those U.S. University students. She goes to Cal Poly State in California. As Mexico clears it upfield, Morneau heads it across. Isabelle Morneau, a native of Quebec. Here's a long pass looking for Dominguez. She's offside as the assistant referee on the far side had her flag up as that ball was played, and Canada earns a free kick. It's a good makeup of these women from so many different parts of Canada, Lydia. We have Bertini and Muir, for instance, coming from BC, and Morneau is a Quebec native, and a number of Ontario girls as well, and certainly from Alberta.
Oh yeah, it's great to see that. They're straight across Canada. Actually, Suzanne Muir is originally from Nova Scotia, so you got a little bit of maritime flavor as well.
That's true. Foul called against Canada, and it's a free kick in favor of Mexico. Bit of a controversial one. Got the crowd up in arms about it. And Jolly heading it across to Muir. Lead pass for Silvana Bertini. Lays it back, but it's intercepted by Gerardo. And Jolly with the clearance. Muir keeps it alive. Headed away from Bertini by Perez. Bertini looking for a foul there, but Perez played the ball well. Did give up the throw-in as Muir will send it back upfield to Bertini. The flick on, looking for Rosenau, is not near her. Segura comes across. Headed on by Dion, and a bit of a push on the back of Dominguez, says the referee. And it will be a free kick in favor of Mexico. And Patricia Perez comes across to take it as we have 10 minutes to play in this first half between Canada and Mexico. We should remind viewers that if this game is tied after 90 minutes, we will have a sudden death extra time to be followed by a penalty kick shootout. And let's hope for Canada's sake it doesn't get to that point, but it would certainly be an exciting and dramatic finish to a gold medal match.
Yeah, it's always a crowd pleaser if it goes that far, but not to the players and definitely not to the coaches.
Gerardo stealing the ball now to Dominguez. Maribel Dominguez, Mexico's leading scorer in this tournament with 8 goals. Fatima Leyva, watched by Muir. And Muir pushes it out of bounds. Throw in for Mexico as we have a player hobbled by an injury, and that's Dominguez. And they could ill afford to have her injured. She's one of their key players up front. They're already missing the other front runner, Iris Mora, as we mentioned. Play a little bit scrambly now as the ball keeps coming over the touchline for throw-ins. Here's Nicole Wright having a little bit of trouble collecting that ball. Dominguez will try another short cross, and it's blocked by Jolly and cleared for Canada. I think a bit of a collision forced that ball to escape from Wright's arms.
Oh, miscommunication by the goalkeeper and their defense. They've got to clear that up. They don't want one of those to go in the back of the net.
Lori Hill with the throw-in for Mexico. Gerardo turning. Got past Tanya Franks, but not Sarah Jolly, who clears it upfield now. Bertini goes high for it. Couldn't get to the ball, but Shannon Rosenau does. And the ball is out of play, but Canada wins the throw-in. Much to the chagrin of the Mexican coach, Guillermo Montero. Suzanne Muir for Canada. To Bertini. Good control. Turns. Quick shot. Oh, and it's just turned aside by Quiñones as Bertini tried a quick shot from just outside the box.
Nice spin by Silvana Bertini. She's going to try to look for her left foot and get a great strike. She goes spinning on it and lower right corner. Good save by the goalkeeper.
Corner kick in favor of Canada. There's the cross from Muir. There's Hooper, and another shot from Liz Smith was blocked and off for another corner kick for Canada, this time from the far side. Canada pressurizing now with just over 7 minutes to play. They've hit a couple of crossbars. Quiñones has been strong on a couple of shots from well out. So Canada has been dangerous throughout this first half. And Canada will set up for another corner kick. This time their 9th of the game. Liz Smith from the far side. Here it comes across, it's deep, long, as well as Suzanne Muir missed connecting with it at the far post, and Mexico clears it. Dominguez trying a quick turn away from Dion, but she held her ground, and the foul is against Mexico. And Canada wins the free kick. Good marking there from Marie-Claude Dion.
Oh, excellent defense. Took a little knock for her troubles, but they definitely got the call for that.
Free kick Canada. Dion will let Tanya Frank set it up for the free kick as the Canadian players run towards the ball. Headed away there from Oseguera. Headed back by Amy Walsh. Hooper will flick it on. Oseguera clears once again. And she's a rock back there on the Mexican defense,
Right
Regina
now,
Oseguera.
she's holding them in the game right now. They've got to find a way to break her down and break the defense down to get behind her.
Amy Walsh, being watched by 2 Mexican players, decides to go the safe route, gets it back to Sarah Jolly. Good lead pass for Bertini. Nice flick looking for Shannon Rosenau. Hit it on. And Mexico comes away with it now, and that's Rodabau across midfield. Walsh coming over to cover. The pass for Olguin is too far. Morneau just tries to keep it in and does, as Rosenau moves it forward. And killing across is Ireta to clear the danger. Canada throw in. Well done by Isabelle Morneau.
Isabelle Molyneux has been so solid throughout this whole tournament. She's been great at her left back position, and no one's gotten through her or MC Dion on the other side.
Hooper coming under it. She's being watched by Hill, and Oseguera comes out with it for Mexico to Monica Gerardo, number 9. Waiting for support, now finds it in Leyva, who's overlapping on the left side. Here's a quick pass that frees up Dominguez. Dion's gonna have to hurry back. Dominguez leaves it for Leyva. Across into the middle. Jolly is gonna have to put it out, and it'll be a throw-in in favor of Mexico. Once again, deep in the Canadian zone with just under 5 minutes to play in the first half. Still no score. Hill trying to turn past Amy Walsh, but she's right there, step for step. Hill again with a throw-in. Olguin, watched by Franks, or Morneau actually. Hill. Hooper coming across, well back in defense to support and help out as Bertini now comes up with it, but it's cleared by Perez, and they are not giving up an inch, the Mexican players.
Oh, they're going to make Canada work for everything they're going to get today. Right now, they're coming back. Well, actually, both teams are coming back in defense in numbers, and it's going to be hard for either team to get forward and create a lot of scoring opportunities.
Well, that was a very unusual clearance there from Dominguez, who just booted it out of play, but sent it back about 10 or 15 yards from where she was standing, back into her own zone. And the throw-in is for Canada, and it's Suzanne Muir. Muir, 28 years of age. As Lydia mentioned, originally from Nova Scotia, now lives in BC. She's a police constable with the Vancouver Police Department. Shannon Rosenau, cross,
Great.
header, score! Canada has gone ahead of Mexico in the 42nd minute. Canada won, Mexico no score. I believe it was Liz Smith on the end of that cross from the right side. Here's the replay, Lydia.
Going down the flank, girl takes the Mexican defender on. Great cross out of the reach of the goalkeeper and heads it in. Great goal from Canada.
Shannon Rosenau with the cross, turning past her defender right at the goal line there just before it got across, and Liz Smith drifting in from the wing comes in and heads it in. Canada had 1-0, and the crowd is alive. Mexico, Rodabau now coming forward. Perez, or rather Lopez, number 2. Finds Rodabau. Actually, the ball is too quick off her foot, and Rodabau couldn't meet it, and they've given up a throw in Canada. So after a couple of near misses, Canada finally on the board. Liz Smith scoring for Canada. It's her second of the tournament, and it's well deserved. Bertini at midfield now, looking for Smith, and here she comes again. Liz Smith with Shannon Rosenau. Smith decides to slow the pace down, looking for support at the back. She gets it. Borneau. Long lead pass collected by Suzanne Muir. Muir lost the ball. Gerardo coming back, collects it for Mexico, gets it to Leyva. Gerardo took a bit of a clip at the back from Hooper. Leyva chips it up. Perez puts it through the legs of Tanya Franks, but Mexico loses the ball again. Shannon Rosenau, watched by Hill, drops it off to Walsh. Intercepted by Hill. She's been a dynamo for Mexico today. Lori Hill. Rodabal. Looking for Olguin. Morneau steps up and intercepts. Gives it to Walsh. Through ball for Bertini. She's in the clear. Shot just wide. And Quinones did well to cut the angle on Silvana Bertini.
She was unlucky. It just went left of the goal. Here to go. That goes straight through the center of the park. Great pass. Threads the needle through the defense and just misses to the side of the net.
Back to live action. There's a look at Silvana Bertini.
Wearing the captain's
Canadian
armband.
striker. And she's the captain for Canada. Rosenau intercepted. One of Canada's veteran players, Jerry Donnelly, not in the game today, but we do expect her at some point in the game. She did play a portion of the semi-final match. Jerry Donnelly been bothered by an injury, I believe, right, Lydia?
Yes, she's had a thigh injury for the last little while, and she's the most capped player for Canada right now at 61, and we hope to see her sometime today. She's a great player and a great leader for Canada, and hopefully sometime, whether it's this half or into the second half, they will bring her on as one of the substitutes.
Less than 2 minutes to play in this first half. Canada 1, Mexico no score in this gold medal match, the Women's World Cup Concacaf Regional Qualifying Tournament. Tanya Franks. Back to Marie-Claude Dion. Long lead pass is headed away. And it's a throw-in in favor of Mexico. Gerardo being challenged for the ball by Franks. Both players go down, and the referee calls a free kick in favor of Mexico. Actually, she indicates a throw-in now in favor of Mexico. Leyva to take it. We should be into referee's time, injury time at this point, as the first half comes to a close. In fact, referee Al Pizarro has just had a glance at her watch. Ball once again out of play. Throw in again for Mexico, and it's Gerardo, number 9. Quick throw in. Dominguez, Dion coming right back to steal the ball neatly and clearing it upfield and flicked on by Rosenau. Bertini coming under it. Can she get to it before the ball goes out of touch? Olseguera pushes it out, and Canada gains the throw in. Muir, Rosenau. Bertini holds it. And it's knocked out again. Muir once again. Long throw for Rosenau. She's got a step on her defender. Now holds back, looking for support. Pass back is not hard enough for Franks to get onto it, but Morneau follows up. Left foot shot, stopped by Bertini. Turn, and the shot curls just wide of the far post. Good effort from Silvana.
Oh, definitely. Nice strike by her. She just didn't get around it enough.
And there is the halftime whistle from referee Ave Maria Alpizar of Costa Rica. The first 45 minutes have come to an end with Canada ahead of Mexico 1-0 in this gold medal match, the women's regional qualifying tournament in Concacaf for the Women's World Cup. And Lydia, was it what we expected from Canada? They certainly had a number of opportunities, and finally one went through just before the end.
I think it's exactly what we expected from Canada. They pressurized, they went forward, they're looking to score, and they just kept going at Mexico.
Thank you, Lydia. And Ben Knight is standing by on the sidelines now with a special guest. Go ahead, Ben. Welcome back to live coverage of the women's final at the CONCACAF Regional Qualifying Tournament. Alf de Blassis with Lydia Vamos, a former Canadian national team member. And Lydia, looking at the stat sheet for the first half, Canada certainly dominating in just about every category. Number of corners were 9, number of shots on goal were 8. Linnea Quinones, the Mexican keeper, coming up with 7 saves. So it just tells you what kind of a first half we had. We were very dominant, yet we weren't able to capitalize on that many opportunities.
Yeah, Canada was definitely dominant in a lot of aspects of the game. Nicole Wright, the Canadian keeper, made 1 save, but she really wasn't called on for a lot of action. And that alone tells you that the defense is solid for Canada. The majority of the action is in the third of the Mexicans' defense, and that's exactly where you want it.
As we look at the large crowd on hand here at Centennial Stadium, Canada won their preliminary group by a score of 39-0. They walloped Puerto Rico 21-0 in their opening match, and then followed that up with another lopsided victory, 14-0 over Martinique, and then a 4-0 win over Guatemala to wrap up the qualifying or the preliminary session. They then went on and won a very difficult semifinal match against Costa Rica, who gave them quite a bit of difficulty, but probably was a good test because it's what they were going to face against Mexico, right?
The semifinals was great. It was a 2-0 win for Canada. They had to work for it. Charmaine Hooper came up with 2 spectacular goals, and I think that set them up for the finals, and this will be a close match. Mexico is still going to give them a run. They're 1 goal up, 1 quick shot by the Mexicans, and the game's all tied up.
A couple of interesting notes to pass along. There will be a new Concacaf tournament winner this year. The United States has won each competition to date, but they have already automatically qualified as the host for the next tournament. So regardless of which of these 2 teams wins it, it will be a brand new champion. And the United States, as we mentioned, will host the 1999 FIFA Women's World Cup. In addition, Canada is the leading candidate at the moment to earn the tournament's Fair Play Award. And that's a great statement for Neil Turnbull and the players that Canada is leading to earn the Fair Play Award, having received only 3 yellow caution cards to date. And it's a great statement in terms of Canada's sportsmanship and fair play.
And it's great composure by the Canadian girls.
Thank you, Lydia. Let's get back down to Ben Knight.
I am right down here in the Mexican cheering. Okay, I'm right down here in the middle of the Mexican cheering section, and guys, they haven't given up a goal yet, and Canada's winning. Are you going to get back into this game?
Yeah, we're gonna get back in.
Are you having a great time?
Yes, we do.
Now who's this here?
Mexico,
Who are you cheering for? All right, it's pretty unanimous here, folks. They're down a goal, but they ain't giving up. Back to you, Alf.
Thank you very much, Ben. As you can tell, a terrific crowd. Enthusiasm, exuberance, a lot of color, flags waving, and it's a great atmosphere, great excitement for this women's final. As we heard from Kevin Pipe, the CSA COO, just a wonderful statement for soccer in Canada to have this kind of excitement around a women's championship match. We're almost set to begin the second half. Referee Ave Maria Alpizar of Costa Rica and checking with her assistants. Everything's in place, and we're about to kick off the second half of this match with Canada now going right to left on your screen. Mexico left to right. Canada with the kickoff. And it's passed back to Sarah Jolly. Rosenau and Tanya Franks now looking for Suzanne Muir on the right side of midfield. Ball still in play. Muir quickly to Rosenau. Rosenau trying to get past her defender. And it's once again cleared by Olseguera. Long lead pass for Dominguez, who is running on the ball. Morneau giving chase. Morneau right there, but Dominguez wins the ball. Cuts it back. No one there to get on the end of the cross from Dominguez. And collecting it is Tanya Franks. Laurie Hill now with Mexico controlling the ball now. Back to Hill. And she goes all the way back to Olseguera. Quick pass out to Perez, who's challenged by Rosenau. And Rosenau comes up with the ball. Holding it, shielding it. Trying to put it through for Suzanne Muir. She couldn't, but was deflected off a Mexican player, and it's a throw-in for Canada. Just at midfield, Marie-Claude Dion. flick on. Muir trying to get past Perez. Throw in once again. Canada. Just 2 minutes gone in the second half. Canada 1, Mexico no score. Charmaine Hooper. Dion. Long pass for Bertini, just couldn't get to the ball, and Mexico clears. And Lopez trying to send it out for Dominguez, who runs under it. But Sarah Jolly comes across, is forced to play it out, and it's a throw-in in favor of Mexico. There have not been any changes at halftime on either side. Both teams going with the starting 11 to begin the second half. Gerardo, number 9. She's watched by Tanya Franks, and it's off of Franks, and it's a throw-in for Gerardo. Lydia, what does Mexico have to do to try and get back into the match and overcome this deficit?
One of the two strikers is going to have to get behind the Canadian defenders to get a good opportunity at goal. Right now, they haven't been able to get a half-decent strike on net. Right now, they're in the end, and they need to get a good, clean shot on net.
And Canada defending well, headed away there by Morneau. Canada obviously will have to sustain the what is expected to be increased pressure from Mexico. As Gerardo collects the ball, turns with it. Franks watching her. Gerardo gets the cross in. It's cleared by Dion. Walsh sends it up to Bertini. Bertini wins the ball past Perez, coming across midfield. She's got Rosenau on her left. Walsh is speeding to her left if she can get it to her. Bertini looks for the shot. It is just over top of the bar. Silvana Bertini going with it all the way. She had some support on the left side, but decided to take the shot herself.
Well, there she goes. She's raining straight down. She's given the chance on her left foot. She's going to take a strike. Shannon Rosenau did a great job of pulling one of the defenders away. That gave Silvana a chance to take the strike on net.
Unlucky Silvana. Charmaine Hooper scored twice from that range in the semi-final match against Costa Rica the other night. And Silvana Bertini just could not connect from about the same range. Blocked by Walsh, collected by Rosenau. Bertini's drifting into the box. Trying to clear it out of bounds once again. Could probably have had some time to make a play with that.
Yeah, except for Dominguez is a very quick player, and you don't want to give her an opportunity. She played the safe ball, put it out of bounds, regrouped as a defense, and then on with the game.
Lopez with a cross into the box, cleared by Muir. Hooper to Amy Walsh. Walsh looking upfield. Walsh across midfield. Liz Smith calling for the ball. Gets it to her on the left side. Smith with the cross, looking for Shannon Rosenau. Bertini the header. Saved by Quiñones of Mexico. Good play all around. Shannon missed it, but Silvana came under it.
Oh, yeah, it's a fantastic cross from Liz Smith. She's going down the left wing, crosses it in. She might have been good to just throw her body right at the ball then. Silvana got her head on it, but not enough power at that point.
Back to live action. And coming over for it, Marie-Claude Dion. She'll allow the ball to run out of play, and it'll be a goal kick in favor of Canada. 6 minutes gone in the second half. Canada 1, Mexico no score. Gold medal match. Women's Concacaf regional qualifying tournament for the Women's World Cup. Nicole Wright has a clean sheet as the Canadian goalkeeper in this tournament. No goals conceded in 5 games to date. 4 games plus this game today. Wright collects the ball. 26-year-old Nicole Wright. Bertini. Rosenau trying to get to the ball before Perez. Perez comes under it. And Olseguera provides some support, but Hooper steals. Perez coming across. Hooper steals it from her. And then number 3 for Mexico, Denise Recta clears it wide. Muir comes under it. Muir with a cross. Rosenau's there, and it's collected by Quiñones. Showing great confidence to collect that ball in the air.
Oh, the goalkeeper's doing a great job keeping them in the game right now. Canada's put the pressure on, putting the crosses in, and they're running at everything right now.
Suzanne Muir. Franks. Tanya Franks, a native of Scarborough, Ontario. Played in the W League with Denver last year. Nice cross is headed away. Laurie Hill being watched by Rosenau. And Rosenau with the attempted tackle. Hill won it. Rosenau wins it back. Quite a battle there for the ball as Hill and Rosenau challenging for it, and it's thrown in favor of Canada. Well done, Shannon Rosenau. Suzanne Muir coming across. There's a look at Shannon Rosenau, 26-year-old Canadian striker. Ball comes to Dominguez, being watched by Morneau, who was step for step with her, and she won the ball. Suzanne Muir, great play. And it was cleared by Perez after a nice play by Muir to get past her marker. Franks. Ball's intercepted. Olguin, number 13 from Mexico. Bit of an ambitious ball there looking for Dominguez. She's 1 against 3, and those odds are not very good for Mexico.
No, Mexico's going to need to push forward a little bit more as the game goes on if they want a chance at scoring on Canada.
Shannon Rosenau looking for Hooper. The ball was behind her. Hill to Gerardo. Steps back. Tries to regroup her Mexican team. Rodabao. Dominguez. Nice flick there for Gerardo. Pushes it back, but it's stolen by Bertini. Bertini looking for Rosenau, where the pass was too long, and it's comfortably collected there by Quiñones, who sends it out wide to Perez. And again, Mexico looking to send their front runners up with long balls, but they're well beyond their pace.
I think they're just hitting up long and hoping that one of them's going to run on to the end of it and take the whole Canadian defense on.
Ball out of play, throw in Canada. Ben Knight standing by with a guest. Go ahead, Ben.
No guest out, but here's an update from down here as the Canadian domination of the game continues. Mexico has scrambled the bench. As you can see there, there's no fewer than 5 of them up here warming up. So you can look possibly, if this game doesn't even up quick, you can look for a raft of substitutions from Mexico. On the Canadian side, even as they're continuing to dominate, they're still leaving 3 players back to cut off the Mexican strikers on the counterattack. It's a very effective position Canada's got. It's looking very good for them right now.
Thank you, Ben. Canada moving forward again. Now there's a pass meant for Rosenau that was offside, but certainly Ben pointed out the fact that the 3 girls playing in the defensive positions, Jolly, Dion, and Morneau, have been so effective, and they are not giving the 2 Mexican front runners an inch. Free kick, Mexico. Olseguera. Dominguez attempted to flick it on, but Jolly plays it back. Great header there from Morneau to win the ball. Rosenau. Hooper looking for Suzanne Muir. Can she come under it? Olseguera coming across and heads it out of play. Muir making another good run from the right side of midfield. Throw in Canada. Just over 10 minutes have gone in this second half. Canada had 1-0. Rosenau being watched by Perez. Drops it off for Muir with a low cross, but Quiñones picks it up. Took a bit of a push there from Silvana Bertini and earned a free kick. Regina Olseguera, number 4 from Mexico, coming across to take this. No Mexican player could collect that, and Canada has won another throw-in, and it's Dion from the far sideline right at midfield. Muir. Hooper making the run. Bertini now with Hooper in support. There's a shot, left-footed strike, curled just over top of the net, and Silvana tried another one from long range.
Another great strike from Silvana. She's got to get her head down over the ball and put it under the bar. Here she goes collecting the ball. Turns on the defender, pulls it to her left foot, takes a strike from about 18 yards out. Here she is again, close range, and just sails over the bar.
And back to live action. Canada has won a free kick. And Isabelle Morneau, number 7, boots it downfield. Rosenau traps it, wins the ball. Now spreads it out wide to Liz Smith, the Canadian goal scorer tonight. Smith trying to get past Olseguera. The Mexican player kept it in play and then pushed the ball off of Amy Walsh out of play. Throw in Mexico. And it's Evelyn Lopez coming across to take it. The throw-in is headed away by Tanya Franks. Tanya Franks and Suzanne Muir, the Canadian wide midfielders, each have 2 goals in this tournament. Isabel Morneau, a defender, has 3.
That tells you how much their threat is coming from behind and from any place on the field. Canada can score.
Ball out of play once again, but Canada wins the throw in this time, and it's Marie-Claude Dion, native of Quebec. Rodabal for Mexico, pushing it forward for Holguin. Tries the shot, but it's collected by Nicole Wright. Could have been dangerous as a bit of a screen on Nicole, but she made the save. Punts it downfield, across midfield. Bertini. Perez with the challenge, and the ball goes out of play. Throw in for Canada. Bertini. Nice back heel pass to Charmaine Hooper. Speeds by a defender. Hooper through in the box. Tried to get it back to Bertini, and it was long. Franks heads it on. Olseguera pushes it away. Here's a long lead pass from Dominguez, meant for Holguin, but once again, just well beyond the player, and they're looking for very ambitious passes, and they're generally never on target.
And also, you've got 2 extremely quick defenders for Canada, and they're going to have a hard job if they're going to try to outrun those 2 defense.
Amy Walsh wins the ball. Morneau sends it right back up the left side of midfield, and it's comes off the foot of Amy Walsh and out of play, so it's a Mexican throw-in right at the Canadian bench. Lopez headed away by Morneau, headed right back by Lopez. Holguin. Dominguez in a battle with Amy Walsh, who comes up with the ball, but there is a whistle and a free kick. Foul charge to Walsh. Mexico takes it quickly. Fatima Leiva, number 14. Watched by Muir. Lays it off, cross into the middle. No danger there for Nicole Wright. It comes off her line, calmly collects the ball, and will punt it right back down the field as 15 minutes have been played in the second half. 30 minutes to play in this Women's World Cup regional qualifier in Concacaf. It's the gold medal match between Canada and Mexico. Just prior to this game, the 3rd place match, the bronze medal match, was won by Guatemala, who scored a 4-0 victory. I'm sorry, Costa Rica scored a 4-0 victory over Guatemala. Throw in for Mexico on the far side. And once again, the ball's out of play, and Canada will throw it in. Just going back to that third place match, it's a credit to Guatemala, who were in their first CONCACAF appearance and did very well to become runners-up to Canada in the preliminary group and get to the semifinals as a first-year team.
And that's going to show the equity in this whole league. And right now, CONCACAF's going to get tighter and tighter. Canada's just got to keep getting better each year to stay ahead of everyone.
Throw in Canada. Bertini turns with the ball. Mexico clears once again, and the Mexican defenders are having to clear the ball out of play because they just don't have any lanes to get the ball up to their strikers.
No, right now they're just playing it safe, and if they have to, they're just going to get it out of bounds.
Bertini trying it again. This time the ball just didn't sit for her, and her left foot shot was well over top of the net. There's a look at Linnea Quiñones, the Mexican goalkeeper. Amy Walsh. Walsh, one of 2 sisters on the Canadian national team. Cindy is the other sister. They're both from Quebec, I believe.
Yes, and they both come from a family that are all involved in soccer.
throw in for Mexico, near sideline, just in front of the Canadian bench is Evelyn Lopez, headed away by Marie-Claude Dion. Aggressive challenge there, and handball called against Canada, so it's a Mexican free kick. There's a look at the Concacaf trophy that the winner of tonight's match will earn, and they'll take that with them to the Women's World Cup in 1999. Rosenau trying to get free. She does. Gets the ball with Bertini ahead of her. Rosenau, the pass for Bertini. Can she get under it? Quiñones coming well off her line to make the save. Well done by the Mexican goalkeeper Quiñones to steal the ball from the foot of Silvana Bertini.
Silvana Bertini was one step away from making 2-0. Pass was just a little bit too far. If it was a little bit wider, it might be 2-0 right now.
Andrea Rodabau to Monica Gerardo. Right side, the pass is for Lopez. It's a little bit long for her, and Amy Walsh covers well and allows the ball to roll out of bounds. Here's a look at that last chance. Aggressive challenge there from the goalkeeper. Very brave.
Definitely, that was a great challenge from the keeper. And again, if she didn't come out, it would have been back of the net by Silvana.
Throw in Canada, Morneau. It's headed away. And Dominguez comes under. She's done a lot of work for Mexico up front, but unfortunately she's been a pretty isolated figure. And they're counting on her to put the balls in the net. She has 8 so far in this tournament. Bertini collecting the ball. Watched by Olseguera. Bertini with Liz Smith in support. Bertini shielding, holding, gets it back to Smith. Back to Bertini, nice pass. Bertini with the cross, it's low, Hooper. Unlucky, Charmaine Hooper just didn't get enough of the ball and steered it wide of the net.
Oh, great play all around from Canada. Pulled it out. Nice pass from Silvana, and unfortunately, Charmaine pulled her head up and wasn't watching the ball.
For some reason, the referee's calling the ball, pulling it all the way back to the left side, where I presume there was a foul called against Canada, so it's a Mexican free kick. Here's the ball back now to Morneau. We'll send it back to goalkeeper Wright. Right back to Morneau. Isabelle Morneau doesn't have many options to her, and in fact, she's forced to play the ball out of bounds, and it's a Mexican throw-in deep in the Canadian zone. Rodabau with 25 minutes to play in this gold medal match. Canada won, Mexico no score. Headed on. Laurie Hill, number 7 for Mexico. Right back into the Canadian penalty area, but Nicole Wright, so very sure and confident, collects the ball, gets ready to punt it downfield. Olseguera coming across to steal from Rosenau, but Hooper follows up. She's got Amy Walsh breaking through the middle, decides to go to Liz Smith, but it's too far. Smith just couldn't collect the ball, and it went out of bounds. And Ben Knight, update from the sidelines. Go ahead.
Alf, I saw something down here on that rush before that last one. An absolutely great play by Sylvia Bertini, the Canadian captain. She chased the ball into the corner, as you remember, and played it back to Liz Smith following. Smith sent it back. Bertini's in an awkward position. She had the presence of mind to step over the ball, let it run under both feet completely, left it exposed temporarily for the defender, but the defender bought the fake. Bertini was able to send it into the center on the pass. She's a sensational player. She's having a great tournament, and that was one of the best plays I've seen tonight.
Thanks, Ben. Just goes to show some of the terrific individual skills that these women have. And that we were speaking about before, Lydia, about the progress and the development of the National Women's Program since 1995. There's a chance, cleared by Isabelle Morneau just at the last instant to preserve a Canadian lead.
She definitely saved it for Canada there. Without that, that's in.
Dominguez coming over with the ball, struck it left-footed. Nicole Wright beaten, but Isabelle Morneau right there. Corner kick, Mexico. High ball. It's out of the Canadian penalty area now. Lopez running under it, can't keep it in play. And Mexico's first serious scoring opportunity nullified by a great individual play by Isabelle Morneau. Bertini gets past her defender. Silvana Bertini with Shannon Rosenau in the middle. Bertini, will she go herself? Looking to pass. Gets it to Rosenau. Left foot shot is high. Great 1-2 combination, Bertini and Rosenau. There you see them on your screen. But Shannon's shot was just high.
There's Silvana Bertini going down the wing. She's beaten the defender. She's got her head up. Plays a square ball right to Shannon. Left-footed strike, just slightly over net again.
Back to live action. Mexico clears once again. Sarah Jolly, who's been a stalwart in the Canadian defensive unit all tournament long. Number 14 for Canada, Sarah Jolly. As Mexico comes forward, and that's Jolly once again. This time she was backed up by Morneau, who cleared it. Well won by Marie-Claude Dion, who was tugged at a little bit, but play went on. Morneau plays a loose ball forward for Bertini. Coming under it is Irete. Irete once again blocked by Franks. Nicely settled there by Leva. Hill spreads it out wide. It's too far for Patricia Perez, and coming under it is Suzanne Muir. Muir to Shannon Rosenau. Muir in support, continues her run. Rosenau trying to push it forward. Olseguera blocked it. Coming across from her sweeper position to nullify that Canadian offensive thrust, and it'll be a throw-in from the far side. Suzanne Muir for Canada. Throw into Rosenau. Cleared. Hooper with a bit of a weak challenge on Leva, but her pass was blocked by Dion. A long clearance upfield, and no Canadian front runner could get under it, so Quiñones collects it for Mexico. Just over 20 minutes to play in this match. Canada 1, Mexico no score. Liz Smith with a Canadian goal in the 42nd minute of the first half. Throw in Mexico, that's Lopez. Liz Smith for Canada. Couldn't get to it, and Lopez, her opposite number, will throw it back in. Push on the back from Dion against Orguin. Free kick Mexico. Monica Gerardo, number 9 from Mexico, setting it up. Nicole Wright wants her wall adjusted. That's Liz Smith and Tanya Franks forming the wall right now. There's a look over the shoulder of the Mexican coach. Drifted in, and it's headed over the bar. Gerardo got to that ball first, the cross from Lopez, but fortunately for Nicole Wright, it was high.
Unfortunately for the whole Canadian side, it went over the bar. Right now, Mexico's put on a bit of pressure. They've had 2 good scoring opportunities this half.
Lori Hill watches as the ball comes off her foot and goes out of bounds, and it's a throw-in for Canada. Liz Smith wants Isabelle Morneau to take it. Morneau to Smith. Back to Jolly. Long ball upfield for Shannon Rosenau, who's by her defender. Rosenau looking to collect the ball and turn past Lopez. The ball's out, and it's a throw-in for Canada. Amy Walsh. Walsh crossing into the middle. Bertini. Good trap. Backheel pass for Hooper. Hooper powers her way through the Mexican defense, but one last defender beat her to the ball and cleared. Liz Smith for Canada. Back to Morneau. I like the way the Canadian midfielders and forwards show confidence in their defenders by playing the ball back, letting them settle it, and moving it back upfield. Free kick Canada. We have a yellow card handed out to number 9 for Mexico, Monica Gerardo, as play continues, but it's been blown dead. In fact, it was blown dead quite some time ago, but the Canadian players, I don't think, realized it, as a yellow card had been issued to Monica Gerardo of Mexico. Ben Knight with another update from the sidelines.
Just an observation, folks, possibly on why this game is so wonderful and everybody's enjoying it so much. We have an entire team of stretcher bearers down here, and you know how the rules work. And by this point in a men's qualifying game or a men's World Cup game, they've been on the field, what, 4 or 5 times, Alf, maybe? They haven't even got as far as the near touch line yet. I don't have any comment to say with that. I think you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about, Ben, and I think that's a credit, Lydia, to the girls and how hard they work and how physical and demanding this game is, but they have put 100% effort into this match, both sides.
Oh, they're definitely putting on a show today. Both sides are going. They're not staying down. They get knocked down. They're right back up. No one's going to sit for a while. They're both going at each other 100%, and they're going to keep going till that final whistle.
Push on the back by Hooper, free kick Mexico. In fact, the only injury of note that I can recall was to Suzanne Muir, and there was never a stoppage in play. She just went down on one knee. She was probably winded, just got her wind back, got up, got going again.
Yep, she just needed a couple minutes to regroup herself and just got right back into play. These girls are tough, and they're going to keep going. It's going to take an awful lot to keep them down.
Just over 16 minutes to play in this match. Canada 1, Mexico no score. It's the gold medal game in the Concacaf regional qualifier for the Women's World Cup here on Rogers Community TV. Monica Gerardo trying to turn past her defender. Now being watched by Jolly, who clears it. Sarah Jolly drifting over from her central defensive duties to support. Here's a look at Tina Blaskovic, Canadian substitute, getting ready to come on to the field. Lydia, what can you tell us about Tina?
Tina's a great striker. She's from Ontario. Give her a chance to take a shot on that and she'll put it in. She's a very, very dangerous forward for Canada. Look for her to come in with some fresh legs, and today she's already scored 4 goals coming in as a substitute.
Ball ahead now for number 2, Liz Smith, the Canadian goal scorer, showing great speed along the left wing, looking for the cross. Challenged by number 3, Ireta. And the ball drifts into the hands of Quiñones, and Ireta paid for that tackle. She's still on the ground. Hooper for Rosenau, trying to push it through to Bertini. Rosenau still after it. The Mexicans are going to try to get it out and get some medical attention to their teammate, number 3, Ireta. Ben Knight from the sidelines. Go ahead.
All kinds of stuff going on down here. We have a injured player, Denise Ireta, down there for Mexico getting attention. First substitution of the game, and Tina Blaskovic is going to go in for Canada, and she's replacing Silviana Bertini, the leading scorer in the tournament. And if that wasn't enough, it's starting to rain down here. We're starting to get some big, heavy raindrops. I don't know how that's going to affect the outcome of the game, but I got a bad feeling about how it's going to affect me.
You're going to need some cover, Ben, down there. The injured player, Ireta, still on the ground as you watch Silvana Bertini from Williams Lake, BC, who's just come off in favor of Tina Blaskovic, substitute striker from Scarborough, Ontario. Ireta has got back to her feet. And there she is on your screen. And in the spirit of fair play, the Canadians get to Mexico, who send it upfield. Morneau wins the ball and sends it right back down, and Rosenau turns and churns it upfield. Rosenau trying to win the ball with Lopez, who sends it up to Rodabau. Back to Lopez, long clearance downfield. Jolly under it. Suzanne Muir on the right side of midfield. Back to Tanya Franks. Franks a little bit too loose and lost the ball, but Morneau. Great challenge by Isabel Morneau to win the ball. Flick on pass from Rosenau to Hooper. Wide to Liz Smith. Cross into the middle, drifting in is Blaskovic. It's headed away. Coming in is Muir, looking for another cross. Short, Blaskovic again, but Olguera once again was first to the ball. Franks coming forward. Gets a pass back, Tanya Franks. Short pass wide of Blaskovic. Moving up was Ireta. Well won there by Morneau. Liz Smith. Amy Walsh. Short pass to Rosenau. Nice turn past the defender. Shot blocked. Rosenau with Muir. Cross into the middle. Hooper coming under it. Flicks it on. Ireta will have to move quickly. The clearance is off a Canadian player. Walsh teeing it up. And the shot is high and wide of the net. 12 minutes to play. Canada still leads 1-0.
Great pressure by Canada right now. It's coming from all directions. Mexico's going to have to watch it. They're going to be able to put one in soon. Added fresh legs from Tina. Should help the Canadian squad up front to put more pressure on them.
I'm surprised the Mexican team has not made a substitution at this point. You would think that the Mexican coach would want to get some fresh legs in and try to get some different looks in the team. But Canada made the first and only substitution of the game today. Tina Blaskovic for Silvana Bertini as Charmaine Hooper comes through. Hooper, left foot shot, great save, Quiñones.
Great strike from Charmaine Hooper, again from her left foot. Canada's got the pressure on. They're still going at them now from the left-hand side.
Ireta has to clear the ball out of play, and Mexico under a great deal of pressure once again. Throw in, Canada, Liz Smith. Amy Walsh busting through. Walsh short cross, save, Quiñones. And once again, the Mexican goalkeeper is up to the challenge. Holguin. Pass back, Jolly. Once again, showing how steady she is. Laurie Hill. Lopez just keeps it in play. Nice turn to get past Smith. Nice pass to Rodabau. Looking for Holguin, headed away. Rodabau, watched by Walsh and Hooper. Foul against Walsh. Free kick, Mexico, dangerous position now.
Yeah, they're only about 20-24 yards out from net. Look for the Mexicans to strike it on net right now.
Just over 10 minutes to play, Lydia. Canada ahead 1-0. Mexico setting up for a free kick. 5 Canadian players in the wall. Nicole Wright, the goalkeeper, setting them up. Monica Gerardo with the kick. Direct strike at the net. Save! Nicole Wright tips it over top of the bar.
Great save by Nicole Wright. She kept Canada in the game right now. That was a nice tip over the crossbar. Here it is, the free kick again. About 24 yards out. Well set by Canada. Great strike by the Mexican. Just
and it's
over.
A corner kick in favor of Mexico, who are making their first substitution of the game. Coming in is number 6, Monica Vergara, and she replaces number 7, Laurie Hill. So midfielder for midfielder. Vergara for Hill, and there is a corner kick for Mexico coming up. Rodabau into the box, headed on, off the bar, headed away by Jolly, who's tackled by a Mexican player, and it's cleared. Great opportunity for Mexico off the crossbar. Pass back to number 3, Denise Ireta. Ball out of play. We want to make this announcement right now. The attendance at today's match is a new record for women's Canadian soccer, 4,971. And if that doesn't tell you that there's a great deal of support for women's soccer in Toronto and in Canada, I don't know what will, Lydia.
Oh, I think you can hear it from the crowd right now. There's chanting for both Mexico and Canadian, different ends of the stadium. It is amazing. It's electric right now. The women are putting on a show end to end. There's opportunities both ways, and it's fantastic soccer.
8 minutes to play in this game. Canada leads 1-0. Mexico coming oh so close, and a couple of opportunities just 2 minutes ago. One on a direct free kick from Gerardo that Nicole Wright just pushed over the bar. The other from the corner kick that was headed onto the crossbar. And Mexico has nothing to show for it. Throw in to the Mexicans, far side at midfield. Gerardo, as Mexico comes forward, Jolly clears. Headed on by Franks. Rosenau gets past her defender and it comes across midfield. Amy Walsh calling for the ball, all alone on the left side. Rosenau continues. One person to beat. Turns and stepped over the ball, lost possession. Gets it right back, Canada does. Headed away. Throw in Canada. Suzanne Muir comes across to take the throw in. Shannon Rosenau showing a bit of fatigue as she was coming forward with the ball.
It's a long run that she took to take on the defense. She might have been better off to lay it off to her left side. And she took on the defense, and here goes Charmaine Hooper taking on the defense as well.
Less than 7 minutes to play in this gold medal match. Canada 1, Mexico no score. Rodebau challenged by Amy Walsh, ball out of play. No other movement on the Canadian bench, so it looks like they're going to go with this lineup for the rest of the way. Tina Blaskovich to Hooper, won the ball but pushed her challenger off the ball, and referee Alpizar from Costa Rica calling the free kick in favor of Mexico. Ball is to midfield. Muir heads it on. A lot of space there for Rosenau to exploit. Gets to the ball ahead of Patricia Perez. A short pass back to Muir didn't work. And Mexico takes over. Canada has to maintain their concentration and make those passes click, Lydia.
Oh yeah, they got to make sure of it right now. You're into the last 6 minutes of the game, and this is crucial. Your legs are tired. You just got to make sure and concentrate that everything goes well.
Charmaine Hooper falling to the ground, slipped and lost possession of the ball. Leyva, number 14 for Mexico, turning back. Watched by Muir. Leyva, right side pass to Monica Vergara, the Mexican substitute. Vergara turns past Hooper, gets a look. Rodebau attempted a cross but was headed away. Rodebau comes under it, challenging Amy Walsh for the ball. The Canadian player wins it. Blaskovich to Rosenau. Blaskovich looking for the return pass. She gets it. She's past Ireta. Now holds up. Looking for support. Blaskovich turns. Finds Liz Smith. Smith, nice challenge by Vergara to win the ball for Mexico. Well kept in by Lopez on the near sidelines. Lopez, short pass, intercepted by Marie-Claude Dion.
Solid defense by Canada. They've just got to stay with it, watch their checks, and they don't want to let the Mexicans behind them.
Dominguez with a cross. Nicole Wright makes the save. If I had to give a most valuable player award, Lydia, I'd have to give it to all three Canadian defenders. Dion, Jolly, and Morneau have been outstanding tonight.
Just flawless. The girls have been fantastic. They haven't given the Mexicans an inch up front. As soon as they move, they're with them. They're going with them step for step. They're just as quick.
Here's Tina Blaskovich with a break. Regina Alciguera comes across and wins it. And you know what? You're looking at probably the MVP for Mexico, number 4, Alciguera. Great play there.
She's been cleaning up behind all the Mexicans all day. She's done an outstanding job winning it from the Canadians.
Throw in Canada. Headed away. Charmaine Hooper challenging. Now it's Andrea Rodebau, Mexican captain, coming forward. Thought she had a teammate running up beside her, but Gerardo was a few steps back and missed the pass. Lack of concentration on the Mexican part there. Hooper coming forward now. Charmaine Hooper hits the shot, blocked by Alciguera. Gerardo, long lead pass for Lopez. She's got a lot of space on the right side, but look at Morneau cutting across to break it down and clear it. Intercepted by Holguin. Dominguez, good control, blocked by Dion. Tanya Franks to Muir. Headed on. Shannon Rosenau can't keep it in play. The ball is out of play. Less than 3 minutes to play in this gold medal match. Canada still leads 1-0. At midfield is Leva with the throw-in. Rodabau. Andrea Rodabau. Across to Vergara. The Mexican bench up on their feet, encouraging their side to get it forward. Vergara through ball for Lopez. Didn't read it, and Nicole Wright calmly picks it up, gives it a couple of bounces, and she's going to punt it back downfield with 2 minutes to play in this championship match. Suzanne Muir baits her defender, streaking down the right wing with the ball. Looking for the cross, deflects off Perez and out of play. Muir earns the Canadian throw-in. Muir puts it in play to Rosenau. Shannon Rosenau looking for the ball, but is punted downfield by Irete. Headed on by Dion, who went well up to win that ball. Out of play, throw in Mexico. Number 14 is Leva. Interception by MC Dion. Lead pass. Didn't work. Quiñones for Mexico. Liz Smith under it. Now it's Rodabau for Mexico, challenged by Blaskovic. Dominguez couldn't come up with the ball. Muir and Dominguez are battling for it. Muir wins it. And the foul goes against Canada. Free kick Mexico, quickly taken. Gerardo, watched by Tanya Franks. Gerardo opens it up on the right side to Vergara. Can she get to it before the ball goes out of touch? No, she can't. Hits the corner flag. It goes out of play. Throw in Canada. We're just going to try and settle it down. Slow the tempo down to hold on to this 1-0 lead. Morneau. Headed on by Gerardo. Headed right back by Jolly. Out of play again. We're nearing injury time. There could be a couple of minutes of injury time. We'll look at the fourth official's desk for an indication. Nothing yet. Gerardo. Walsh. Ball's out of play. Throw in Mexico. They're trying to step up the momentum now. Vergara. Throw in. Good anticipation there by Tanya Franks to head away. Throw in Mexico. Lopez. Gerardo, good control. Hooper coming in. And Mexico gains another throw in. That's all Canada's giving them, is just the wide side of the field, but they haven't been able to penetrate into the penalty area. Now the throw-in gets there, but Hooper heads it away. Vergara holds it, trying to get past Tanya Franks. Good challenge from the Canadian player. Throw-in once again. Ball's out of play. Canada wins the throw-in. And with all that possession, Mexico didn't get a shot on net. And they've turned the ball over.
Canada had all their players right back in the 18-yard box for that. They're back there on defense, and they're going to get forward when they can, but they're going to pack it in defensively until the end of this game.
Ball all the way back into the Mexican zone, and out of play, throw in to Mexico. Still no indication from referee Alpizar as to how much time we have to play. All we know is that the 90 minutes are up. Hooper across midfield. Tina Blaskovic. Return pass to Hooper. Can't get there. Regina Olseguera is there first. Out of play. Throw in Canada. Now the referee glances at her watch. She's going to allow this throw in. Who knows how much more. Hooper. Cross into the middle. Shannon Rosenau just got on the end of it. Good save by Quiñones.
As you can see, it's still raining out there just a bit.
Good challenge by Blaskovic. Free kick. Foul against the Canadian forward. And Mexico will take a quick free kick, but they're deep in their own zone. Olseguera Boots it long downfield. Jolly coming across to give cover to goalkeeper Nicole Wright. And she's going to take her time before putting it back into play. And there's the final whistle from referee Alpizar. Canada beats Mexico 1-0, and they have won the Concacaf regional tournament, and they are on their way to the United States for the 1999 Women's World Cup.
And Liz Smith, hero of the day, scores a goal in the first half. Beautiful header across from Shannon Rosenau.
So Canada returns to the World Cup 4 years after Sweden. They'll get another shot at it in the United States next year. Mexico, the runners-up in this tournament, will be forced to a playoff against South American runners-up Argentina. But a gutsy game from Mexico, who battled all game long and held Canada to the 1 goal. And in fact, they had an opportunity late in the game, Lydia.
Oh, it could have gone either way this whole game. There's a couple crossbars on both teams. It could have been 2-3 goals for either team. Canada held on. It was an amazing game. Mexico was just unlucky in the last part of the game not to put one of those goals in.
And the Canadian women saluting the crowd, the pro-Canadian crowd, the record crowd of 4,971 here at Etobicoke Centennial Stadium. The largest crowd ever to watch a women's soccer match in Canada, and they're going to make a victory lap, the Canadians will, and will follow them. Nicole Wright, outstanding, shutting out all her opposition. 5 straight clean sheets in this tournament. Liz Smith, the goal scorer, scoring 2 in this tournament. Tanya Frank, outstanding in midfield. We talked about the defenders. Morneau, Dion, Jolly, tremendous job. Silvana Bertini, playing like a woman possessed, trying to fight off a viral infection. And she certainly was one of the great stories of this tournament as we watch this crowd salute the Canadian champions.
Great champions they are, and they'll be a great team to reckon for in 1999 in the United States. Look for these girls to move on and hit the podium in America.
And what a promising future for Canadian women's soccer. At the club level, at the national level, we have a local team coming into the W League next year. We've got Canada moving on to the World Cup. We've got a Canadian under-20 representative, hopefully going to play for the Pan American Games. A terrific future ahead for women's soccer.
This is fantastic, and this is the way it's going. It's going up for Canada. You look at these players, these are the heart and soul of the Canadian soccer. These women have worked so hard to get here, and they've earned everything. They spent countless hours.
And Neil Turnbull has just had a bucket of water dumped over him by a couple of Canadian players. The traditional drenching of the winning coach, and I wonder if Neil expected that. I'm certain he didn't.